they say it in the wrong tense? It doesn't really matter in the matter of learning. You will get them to speak it in the right tense. Like so many Spanish speaking, anybody speak Spanish here? No? Okay, the Spanish speaking people, they have this wonderful habit of saying Marlene, he went to Harrisburg. Stephen, she had pizza for dinner. They use your name and then they use the opposite pronoun in it. And you say in English you don't say that, you don't use the pronoun next to the main. If you're using the person's name, you don't use the pronoun. But because in the Spanish language, the pronoun is so important and indicates many things, that's why they transfer it over to the English speaking. And so that's something that you need to correct in a structural thing. Okay? Not in the conversation, because if, Bill says, somebody's saying, and Bill's saying, Marlene, he went to so-and-so, I know he's talking about me because he's used my first name. But I would make sure that in my Spanish class that we would put some emphasis on when to use pronouns and when not to use pronouns in a structure, not in the fluency of what Bill wants to say about me. So thank you for that, and Marilyn will...
Well, the hour's getting late.
Oh.
I would like to give you a handout. This is an outline of some of the things we've tried to say to help you remember. Front page has different activities and things to help people speak. What to teach, some of the stuff and the corrections that Marlene did. There's a section in here on how do students learn. I'm just going to give you a couple of handouts about right brain, left brain. You can take the test yourself, find out where you are, but just aware that your students are of different varieties and you need to teach differently. There are different learning styles. I'm giving you a handout that talks about activities that appeal to different learning styles. There's different ways to categorize them. The handout has, I think, 7 ways. One of the common one is auditory, visual, and kinetic. Or learn with your ears, your eyes, or by movement. But it's just a handout with some ideas on it so that you can appeal to different learning styles. Then there's a section here, more tips to teachers. Marlene spends 4 whole weeks teaching people lots and lots of tricks and techniques and ways to make your class flow more smoothly. You get a half a page summary, but read through it and see if there's anything there that maybe you could learn. So I'm going to give this out and those handouts out, and we're going to call it a good day.
And then we'll pass out some websites that you can go to for some resources and maybe help you. So I'll start that here.
And as the ladies are doing that, thank you for the invitation to come to be with you. I didn't realise I'd taken up so much time, but I'm very passionate about this teachers, and I want to thank you for taking on this wonderful group of people to give them the opportunity
I didn't count. We'll see.
to learn English. And we trust that there's been some help here today, and I know that it's structured with a syllabus and all sorts of things like this. But even with using the syllabus that you have, ask yourself the question, does the student need to know this? If not, what are you going to do about it? You need to ask yourself that. Do they need to know this? Or is there something more profitable I can do with my syllabus? So again, thank you for your time.
Can we take just a couple minutes to answer any questions we might have?
Yeah.
We're game if you are.
Okay. So let's see if we can.
I'll try.
All right, my question is, when we're having right now, today was my first day in the very, very beginning course. That's what we're teaching. So we have a lead teacher, and then we're separated into groups to help out the lead teacher. Should we have a conversation, or try to have a conversation with the students? On one hand, I feel like it might be overwhelming, or they may be overwhelmed if I try to have an English conversation to a very, very new student. But on the other hand, should they be practicing? Like, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are definitely they should be practicing. And having a lead teacher and 3 or 2 people to help you is a wonderful thing for beginners.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the whole responsibility of it. And as long as your assistant teachers are coming around in the group and coming alongside them, there's nothing wrong with coming alongside someone who's unable to say, and tell them what they need to say in this conversation. If they don't have it, as the teachers, just mention it quietly, don't say it that everybody else is hearing it, but just say to the person, you could say this, and give them words, because it's practice in speaking the English language. It doesn't matter who produces it when they're a beginner like that. Okay? And so if you don't take that courage and start pushing boundaries, they won't develop.
Right.
And so we're often hesitancy because we don't want to make them feel that they can't achieve and all the rest of it, and we hang back. We have a rule, if they understand 50% of comprehension, they're a good class in second language.
Yeah.
Okay, don't look for the perfection. Do not do that to your class. See if you can understand what they've said. Okay, no matter how halting it is. And expect partial answers and come along. We have a term called reformulation. And it's in the spirit of, well, this is how I would say this.